Hey everybody, Jenny here from Elijah and I. Today's tutorial is for the Boy Party Favor box. This tutorial is also good for our other male character templates such as the Mix and Matches and Jonah and the Well or our Heroes collection. If you haven't already, you're going to want to download the template to do this tutorial, which you can find at my Etsy shop, Elijah and I, along with many other templates for your party and craft projects. So once you do have it downloaded, let's go ahead and we can get started on assembling the box. So obviously the very first thing you're going to want to do is make sure all of your pieces are printed and cut out. I also recommend printing your visual assemblage sheets because they are labeled with all of the piece titles, which will kind of help guide you in putting the pieces together. And it also clearly shows which areas are folded and which areas are cut. So let's go ahead and get started with the head, which is labeled A. And to start, we're just going to go ahead and fold in the main pieces of the head, the front and the back. And then to connect the sides, we will be folding the tabs, but you actually don't want to do a hard fold for the sides because they will kind of just bend and wrap around the edges. So let's just go ahead, and if you want to fold the tabs, you can use a popsicle stick or a ruler, and I suggest always doing a soft fold for your tabs. That way, if you're a little bit off, you can easily bend it, and it just is a lot quicker than going through and scoring all of the edges. Once you have everything folded, the next step is to glue the piece together. I use a hot glue gun because it's sturdier as well as quicker to get the whole piece done. If you do use a glue stick or Elmer's glue, you just want to keep in mind that it might take longer and you might want to clasp the edges to hold the glue together until it thoroughly dries. With this particular box, a little trick that I use just to make sure it's aligned properly is when I fold over that edging over the front where the circular corner is, I will actually fold over the top of the edging, glue it, and then usually it will fall into place. You just want to make sure it's not too tight, otherwise it won't fall into place and you'll have the corner tucked inside on all of the edges. So here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. See how I have it aligned? You can see it's a little bit aligned on the inside, and then I will fold the tab underneath and glue it. This just makes sure that you don't have any huge gaps underneath. It's not necessary. It's just something I do more out of habit, especially when I'm assembling a bunch of them at the same time. It allows me to quickly assemble these boxes and have them looking as sharp as possible. So once you have the front glued, you're going to want to do the exact same thing for the back, and then this piece will be completed. So here we have the completed head, which is the part where we're actually going to be putting our candy. So now we want to go ahead and assemble the hair, which if you want to think of it, you want to think of it as like the lid to the overall piece. When you cut the piece, you will see that there is two of the main pieces, the front and the back, which are barely attached. Now you can cut those and have it as three separate pieces, such as you see here. I have one where it's separated and the other where it is connected. I leave them connected a lot of times. I'll leave a little piece of paper there just because it makes it easier in ensuring I have the strip connected to the front and the back properly, or having it properly aligned anyway. So as reference, you can look to your visual assemblage sheet, and we are assembling part B, which you can see here, and that's the hair. And to start, we're going to go ahead by folding all of the tabs over, which you can use either a ruler or a popsicle stick, and doing a soft, quick fold. Again, I typically try to avoid doing hard folds right off the edge, especially with things like the tabs, because one, when you're scoring it, you can tear off the pieces, or two, because sometimes it might not always be, depend on the template, easy to figure out how to align it properly. And so if you do a soft fold such as this, then you can easily go back through and sharpen that fold with just firmly pressing it over if it's aligned properly. So once you have all of the tabs folded over and the main back piece folded, which you can see I have barely hanging on still, but just actually popped off. But you want to go ahead and align the siding to the back piece, and we are going to glue and attach it. You're going to want to align and glue the tabs going all along the siding attached to the back, and then once you have that complete, you can go ahead and move to the front portion of this piece. Okay, so now we have the back portion attached to the siding fully. We can go ahead and move on to the front, what I call the bang section. And I left a little piece where it would normally attach, just so you could see where if we didn't cut it fully, this is where it would align, and you could start from that area and move outwards to attach it. But if it's disattached, you can just start from the edge here and follow it all along the line. You just want to make sure it's following the curvature of the hair and not the outside frill pieces, because it doesn't align with those. Those kind of stick over the bounds of the siding. Once you have it glued, you'll see that this tab sticks out a little bit from the hair. You can just go ahead, take some scissors and cut that off, or depending on how you actually cut out the hair, it might not stick out bad enough to where you actually need to cut that edge. Once you have that done, the whole entire piece is completed for the hair, and as you can see, it pops over the head just like a lid, and that is where you would put your candy and your party favors. And now we are done with the top portion of this party favor box. So let's go ahead and move right on to the body. So with the body, you're just going to want to look at your reference sheet, your visual assemblage page, which is the third page, and this section is marked as C for the body. It's going to kind of give you a clear indication of where we're going to fold in and where we're going to fold out, and where we're going to want to glue the sections that line up. So to start, we're going to want to form the top of the body and fold inward the main pieces of the front and the back. You can just do a quick fold, and if you see here, by doing the quick fold, you can kind of look at the other piece and see if they align properly, and that should fold that piece nicely for you without having to score it. Now with the sidings and the rest, we just want to go ahead, and these tabs are small enough to where they actually just fold over really easily and quickly, and you don't need to worry about aligning it because the pieces are so close that it kind of does a natural fold when you fold it over, or a natural alignment of the fold anyway. So just go ahead and continue folding the tabs inward, and then we can go to the folding of the siding of the box. So folding the siding is really easy, again, because those tabs are so small. They kind of, and they're already folded in, and they provide an easy alignment for just folding everything in by hand without scoring it. You can score it if you want to, but it aligns naturally to where it gives you a nice aligned fold line already as it is. So just go through, fold everything inwards. The only portion you're going to want to make sure that is not folded inwards is where the tan connects to the gray, which is the hands connecting to the pants of the character, or the bottom half of the character. You're going to want to fold those outwards, because the tan's going to fold and curve inwards for the hand, and then it's going to go directly out and back down for the pants. So as you can see here, I have everything aligned, but you can't see very clearly. I apologize that the gray is actually folded outwards underneath the hands. So onward now to gluing this final piece for this party favor box. Again, I just used hot glue, and to start, we can go ahead and start with the front part. You're going to want to make sure those blue tabs align with the arm. And then the trickiest part is actually folding around the hand, because it is a rounded edge right up against two very straightened edges. So the best way I think to do that is to stick your finger in there and to press down on where the hand is to kind of give it a natural curve. You can also use a pen or any other rounded object to stick in there and just to kind of firmly press against it to get that rounded shape. It'll just kind of help you a lot in gluing and attaching and just folding the overall piece. So you can see there that it folds nicely around the hands, and then you can go ahead and glue it and make sure right underneath the hands that gray line is folded outwards, not inwards like the rest of the folds, so that way it aligns best with the pants and the shoes of the box. And then with that bottom half folded outwards, it aligns properly to the remaining edges on the bottom half. So go ahead and glue that, and then you're going to want to do the exact same thing for the opposite side as well as the back of the box. So voila, you have it all completed now for all of your main pieces. The only thing you need to do now is connect the head to the body. If you look at your visual assemblage pages, it will show you that A attaches to the top of C, A being the head like we went over earlier. And to do this, all you want to do is make sure the hair is not on there, add a little dab of glue to the bottom of the head, and then take the body and attach it and align it as best as you can to the center of the bottom of the head. Okay, so once you've given that a few seconds to dry, you are all done assembling your party favor box. It is now ready to have candy or little treats to put inside and to hand out at your next party, or to give as a gift box, or a unique way to present any kind of gift, and or just to do as a fun group craft project. So thank you for tuning into this tutorial. I hope I explained everything well enough, but just in case, please don't hesitate to message or comment below, and I will answer any of your questions as soon as possible. Also, be sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to find other DIY party ideas and tutorials that you surely won't find anywhere else. So thanks for tuning in, and I hope you have a blessed day.